Well, hello, hello. And if you don't know me, I am Sarah Jane from Access Your True Nature, where I support kind, sensitive women just like you to heal from old patterns of abuse and unresolved grief and trauma so that you can really live a fulfilled life being all of you. And I want to ask you a question as you settle in to your weekend, is a big one, and also one that I want you to make really, really simple, which is, are you ready to make 2019 the year that you truly, truly commit to transforming your patterns of trauma and shame, and then learn how to help others to do the same? I think that if you were a child, you were probably wrong for my sister just come in, and the dogs are all so happy to see her. That's what you call a beautiful pattern interrupt. So I just moved into another room where they're not woo-wooing. But yeah, so what I wanted to speak to is again, for you to just really look at, what do you need? What container do you need to hold you in a space where you feel supported and safe enough? Because remember, we can't really tap into our creative juices in our sexual chakra if we're not rooted in safety and an environment that's nurturing and loving to hold you in that space of encouragement of, yes, you can do it. And we can't, of course, transform patterns of trauma and old cellular memory that's being held on your cells if you're still feeling unsafe or unheard. So if you were a child and if you're part of my tribe, I really created this page as a container, a safe container for kind, sensitive empaths just like you to join and gather together to know that you're not alone on this journey. And if you perhaps were made wrong as a child, often it's pre-7-year-old, where as a child you were told that you were too sensitive, or you were over dramatic, or that that you were just too much for other people to hold in your truth. You're in the right place, because I want you to understand that sensitivity, or what we call in animal communications the gift of clairsentience, is a gift. It's not a wrongness. And if you were ever made wrong for being sensitive, for not knowing what was yours and what was somebody else's, because you were just like the sponge that soaked up other people's energies, and because you felt it, you felt like you had to fix it. Just know it's not your fault. And I see a couple of you on here, so please say hi in the comments and let me know if this is resonating with you, because I think that now is the time. And if you haven't, by the way, as a side note, if you haven't taken the ACE test, which stands for Adverse Childhood Experiences, please go ahead and take the test over at accessyourtruenature.com. Hi, Anjana. It'll really give you a great foundation to start to realize that none of the places where you felt shame, or you felt not enough, or you felt wrong in your body, or wrong in that you were born in the wrong time in the wrong place, is your fault. It's just the bad training or programming of this reality that I call the insane asylum that we're all committed to, and nobody knows it, but now you do. And I want you to really step in and acknowledge and commit in transforming those old patterns, that you have the gift of clairsentience. If you're empathic, if you're a highly sensitive person, you know what I'm talking about. That it's just that space that you actually become this beautiful, clear channel for sensing what is going on. And remember, we talk about feeling sense, not a cognitive sense, but really trusting your gut and following that. And also being able to feel in there, to navigate remember, the clairsentience, the gift of that is your own internal GPS. It's your navigation tool. And as a child, if you were anything like me, I shut down that psychic or clairsentient capacity very early on because I was made so wrong for it. And we learn, don't we, over time, not to trust our empathy. And then we start to isolate, or we start to mute our voices, and we start to play small or hide ourselves for fear of being judged as wrong. And it can be very overwhelming and debilitating until you actually learn how to use this gift to channel information that is coming through to you. Because your nervous system is very, very, very delicate, which is why I always weave into the woo. The scientuitive part of my work is very much based in neuroplasty and how to rewire and reset your nervous system. And it's one of the things that I teach in my Out of the Blues program. So if you haven't had a look at that, it is a very, very full and robust and living organic process of moving yourself through. I also teach this to some degree in my private sessions of the mindfulness change process. But it's so important as an empath, as a sensitive, to know how to clear your nervous system of past trauma and rewrite your story. So that you can reset your nervous system. It's a rewiring. You just think about it as if you're riding a bike and you keep taking the same path, and you keep taking the same path over years and years. That track doesn't grow any grass anymore. It stays very barren, and that's very, very deep. So it takes time, and it takes practice, and it takes a lot of patience, and oftentimes you need support because you cannot see where you're going or what has happened that shaped you and your neurophysiology, because it's in the blind spots. They're called blind spots for a reason. And also, I'd love to know, as a side note, if any of you have watched that movie Birdcage with Sandra Bullock. I just thought, wow, what a profound way of showing how fear is driving people to actually not see the truth of who they're being, and also the truth of the energetic support systems that are around us at all times to support us and guide us and keep us safe. And we can't see it if we're walking around blindfolded. So I talk about this a lot in my shadow dancing class, where we really learn, and you get the tools and the practices to get out of projections, or to recognize when someone is projecting their anger or hurt or their need to control you, and where you often go into assumptions. And I wrote a little meme earlier, which I think is very relevant to this, which is that defensive-ness is the first act of war. So back to that mantra of nothing to hide, nothing to prove, especially as a psychic, intuitive being, which we all are, and we've just shut them down. So it's really, really time to learn how to get yourself in a space where you're trusting your intuition, you're trusting your spidey senses, and we get you out of, and this is what I do very, very well as a nervous system specialist, is get you out of that fight, flight, freeze, out of that parasympathetic response to have to defend or react, and rather go into responding from a place of rest and digest. You cannot make decisions out of fear. And a lot of times when we're in flight or we're in a shock or trauma system, that's where we go. And we go back to that old reptilian brain of primal survival instincts, where your rational brain is just not functioning at all. So, this is what I teach. And I also teach you a very simple, pragmatic way to start to clear your energy field. It's a beautiful guided energy medicine, which starts to move you out and starts to actually move all the issues out of your tissues and roots you back down into your gut knowing, really knowing yourself, so that you can start to clear all this erroneous debris off of your cellular memory, and also remove the trauma in doing that by yourself. Off of your perispirit and off of your body's, heads, countenances, and endeavors, so that you are this beautiful, clear channel, not just for yourself, but to guide other people back to their own state of inner peace and calm, no matter how chaotic the outside world is looking. And remembering too that as an empath, if you've been being that sponge for other people to dump all their crap on you, oftentimes their projections and their assumptions are going to trigger your own trauma. When you're feeling that in other people's energy fields. So just remember to see it as a gift and to really own and call back your light so that you can reignite and access your clairsentience and your clairaudience, all your spidey senses, and of course the sixth sense of just intuitive process, right? That cerebellum chakra, that it stays beautiful and open to only the things that are light and true and a contribution to you in your life. So have a beautiful rest of your day wherever you are, and let me know if this is resonating with you. I'd love to know your insights on if you've seen the movie Bird Box. You know, just think of it too like that your body is the canary in the coal mine. It starts singing long before you may be aware on your normal senses that there's imminent danger coming. So use your body as the canary in the coal mine and take your blindfold off, and let me know what you'd like to hear more of, if this was helpful. And please check out my Out of the Blues program if you are ready to transform your patterns of trauma and shame and not enoughness, and really learn to reset your nervous system in a way that holds and is sustainable, so that you can help others do the same. And if you have any questions on that, let me know. Have a good weekend. That's it. Bye. Lots of love. Mwah.